Hello. I'm waiting for Hansolar to join me. How are you doing, guys? Taco Tuesday. Let's see. Okay. Ready to display. Okay. Yes, I am live. GM, GM ASEAN, GM. Oh, you messaged me from both YouTube and Twitter. Yes, I do. I can read your messages. Hey guys, I'm still waiting and setting up a little bit. So bear with me for now. Okay, it's working. No, like this, right? Okay. I think people are trading on either hyperliquid or lighter. And I'm so happy that I'm inviting like the embodiment of lighter, the human lighter, Hansolar today. And I prepared some question lists here so that whenever you guys hop in, you guys can just read the question list and get to understand what he's talking about. Yes, like this. I think his character is really cute. This purple dogo. I think it's dogo, right? What did you guys eat for your lunch or dinner? I ate sushi today. And I just realized that, oh, wait. Chat. 노래 불러주세요. Jun Kim said, please sing. No, like, I need super chat for that. Manon. For my horrible sing. Oh, he's here. Guys, he's here. Wait, no, he is, right? Yes. Okay. Hello.
Hey. Has this stream
Hi.
started already?
Yeah, it started.
I
But
thought
you're
it was
not late.
I thought it was in like 30 minutes.
Oh, yes. I wrote the wrong time zone, so it was 8:30 actually. Sorry for
Oh,
everything.
no, it's okay.
Nice. Okay. So, I think we're ready to go. And hey, Hansolar, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Shubit.
But I don't think you need an intro of yourself because everybody knows you. I just want to know what you bought today.
What I bought today?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Please let the audience know who you are and what you do.
Okay. I am a full-time trader. and I also work at Lighter as BD, developing business around the exchange. And I've been in crypto since 2017. Um, had a lot of ups and downs. And right now, I would say we are in one of those down periods. That is a
Oh
brief
no.
introduction of myself.
Okay, I think now, like, I think you can let me know what you bought today or sold today.
Um, right now, I am very cautious um about how I'm trading right now, or at least talking about it because as you know, like I'm usually very very public about what I trade and how I trade and things like that, right?
Yes, you are.
But after I faced like a really big drawdown over the weekend and over I guess like the past 2 weeks,
Hmm.
and at the moment I'm actually like just trying to become more centered and kind of regain my confidence.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'm not talking about my trades until I feel that I'm ready again.
Yes, that's really fair. Actually, I stabled up most of my assets and try to be really cautious, shorting time to time. That's all I do. And that being said, you were right. Last time when I met you, I think during the KBW, you guessed the bearish Q4, and we are bearish Q4. You're a legend. So, what are you like? How did you came up with that conclusion by that? And what are your expectations going to 2006, 2026?
That is so it's very funny that everybody I've met, I said I was like bearish for Q4. So I told you, I told Taiki, like I had a call with Taiki soon after, and like I was telling him how I was how I was bearish. I told like Joshua Took that I was bearish, but I still got wiped, right? I still had like I still played it incorrectly, even though I was telling everybody around me that I was bearish. Um, but generally, the basis around why I was bearish then was well, I mean it was the DATs, like you know the DATs didn't have like new inflow. Their MNAVs weren't being propped up. So like that was one. There wasn't any like structural bid anymore from these DATs, which is what led us up here. And
Mhm.
then I think everybody was kind of like expecting a bullish Q4 just because of like the Santa rally and maybe like the catch up trade to gold. But I didn't feel those were like structurally strong enough. Um, and then I guess like general kind of lack of flows into alts. Like nobody was really bidding alts, and the rotation game was like too fast. And so like, and then there was also the 4 year cycle thing. So there were people that were saying the 4 year cycle is now irrelevant, which happens at every single peak. Like for the I think the third cycle now that I've been in, every single time like people say, oh, there's no more 4 year cycle, but these 4 year the OGs who basically hold the supply for Bitcoin, like the largest amount of Bitcoins, they dictate like the major peaks and troughs.
Mhm.
And if they've made money like trading off the 4 year cycle, even if we do get like a slightly different kind of cycle this time, or like a
Mhm.
shape maybe even, they're still gonna like take profit, and that's still gonna hit the market. And so like it's just something that you shouldn't ignore, even though maybe we get like a shallower dip. So that was like the reason for being bearish Q4, even though I played it absolutely horrendously.
Well, it's like that, but yeah, like more sellers than buyers. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah, that's always a reason for prices going down, more sellers and buyers. Um, and then for 2026,
Mhm.
uh, I'm I don't have a view for 2026 at the moment, and I think that's like a good place to be,
Mhm.
because everybody, well, myself, like if I think there is a bullish catalyst in the future, I like to front run that kind of expectation, and that's what kind of gets you hurt as well.
Mhm.
So you have to be very, well, I want to be like very neutral and like kind of, uh, I want to get bullish when I really see things like kind of lining up, so I don't hurt myself. You know what I mean?
I will stalk your tweets as usual and pick up your sign. I'll do that for myself. Okay, I think this one. I want to know when Lighter will TGE.
Okay. I do have like one question before that actually. Like,
Okay.
so you work at Alpha AI, right? And like you
Yeah.
guys aggregate a lot of the sentiment and like maybe the high signal people
Mhm.
on Twitter. Do you guys have like a view, like maybe internally or like something that you publish like on Alpha on like current direction?
Current direction about the market.
Yeah.
To be honest, I saw so many mixed signals, but more I say it, so there are a few individuals who have really good instincts because and that instinct is coming from all the actual data like Coinbase Premium and so on. So what we suggest people is just to look at the people you want to look at. I feel like in this mixed signal like era, it's better to just focus on what you are looking at. And usually people have their own favorite CT list.
Hmm.
And if you were looking at too much broader CTs, then all of them have different time frames. But if you are following up like few people, then you know their time frame somewhat. You can just sense it. But if you're looking at too many broad people, then you might just fuck up your like own trade. So that's what I'm doing actually. So what we see right now, there are many mixed signals, but to be honest, bearish. Like what Alpha Bot is saying, the AI signal bot, Alpha Bot is very bearish, and
Hmm.
that we are using all the data on CT. So I think it's also implicating the actual sentiment. And AlphaBot, when I talk to AlphaBot, is generally very bearish. So
Okay.
I would say neutral, but slightly more bearish.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Going on to going on to lighter TGE. So lighter TGE, like, everybody's been asking about this. There are prediction markets on it. So I'm not gonna uh so what I will say is it's targeted for end of year. So everybody knows that, right?
Mhm.
And that's all I can really say. It's targeted for end of year,
Okay.
and but I wouldn't bet the house on it, right? I wouldn't like take out a loan and like bet on the betting markets that it's gonna happen at the end of the year. But that's when it's targeted for.
Yeah, I to be honest, I didn't really expect that much from that question, but I think you can answer this one. Tell us more about the recent investment round. Do you see integration to larger platforms, maybe Robinhood, and institutional adoption of the lighter product?
I think people kind of like to spin stories about who invested and like what's going to happen due to those connections. But at the end of the day, like I don't think most VCs provide that much value add. You know what I mean?
Mhm, that's
They
true.
can be they can be door openers for very specific things like, I want to talk to someone, at a very high level at Amazon, or I want to talk to, someone at the highest level of USDT, or, or Robinhood, or whatever it is. Like, I think that is probably what you get out most uh, from these investors. An integration is like so much more than that. It's like a strategic decision to like, um, have two different products kind of like come together in a particular way, or whatever it is. Obviously, those things. are easier if you have these connections. But at the end of the day, like the best businesses are, make decisions based on their users, and
Mhm.
um, it shouldn't really be encumbered by who invested in you. It should just be enabled. Like if they think that, this would be a good idea, and like, it would be good for distribution, and it would work for both sides, then maybe something good could come out of it. But in general, I think people uh, write bigger stories than what actually is likely to happen. But nevertheless, like I think the caliber of investors in the lighter round is actually very, very unique. Uh,
Mhm.
like obviously, A16Z and um, Ribbit do make Ribbit Capital is like the probably the hottest like fintech VC in the Web 2 world. It's like it has one of the best records. It invested in Robinhood really early, and a bunch of other like very successful kind of fintech companies. And they do crypto VC, but it's like a completely different kind of um, like style of investing than traditional crypto VCs. Same goes for Peter Thiel's Founders Fund.
Yeah.
Their timeline is like much longer. They have much bigger kind of like goals, and so that's actually one of the reasons that drew me to Lighter around last year. Like when I first heard that, David Sachs,
Yes.
when he wasn't, the crypto czar, had invested in Lighter, that's like a very big, that's like a very interesting signal for a product to have, compared to like all the other perp dexes that generally like raise money from the same people. Like,
True. That's so bullish. Like, I mean, I really agree with the term that VCs are door opener and all the decisions should be made based on existing user base or the future targeting user base. And I think that's like really nice way to put it for like the future of Lighter. And like, I want to ask, how did you first meet Lighter team?
well, interestingly, it was just like a cold DM. So,
Oh my god, that's sick.
I like to yap on X a lot, and so I do get offers from like lots of different perps exchanges as well as DeFi projects, and a lot of them really do look pretty similar. But as I said, like when Lighter mentioned that David Sachs had invested, I thought that was very unique. And I was also like a huge fan of the podcast, the All In podcast. Do you listen to that ever?
Mhm. Mhm, 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 mhm.
Yeah,
I've listened to it. Mhm.
yeah. It's become more like mainstream media now, and like it's quite I would say slightly even biased, like towards the current government, like a bit too much. Um, but like a year ago, it used to be much more kind of like,
Niche.
um, yeah, it used to have more interesting opinions more than
Not
now.
anymore. It's more
It's still a
becoming
good listen, but like, it's like watching the news now. It's like if you want to know
right.
what's going on, like then
What's
you
going on for like Trump and the government and
yeah,
Peter
yeah,
Thiel?
exactly. Like the direction and like what's going on with like Sam Altman and like that kind of thing. Then and Elon, like it's good to have a listen.
That's so true. And can you RT our streaming so that more people can hear?
All
And
right.
those people who are tuning in, please like and comment or like leave us some questions that you want to ask directly to Hansolar. That'd be amazing. So let's move on to next question. Like I think like most of people will feel the same thing. To me, trading feels like a winner takes all activity where all the top 1% like consoler gain so much against the other 99%, aka me. Like any tips in how can the small guy win? Like you can take your
Uh,
time, take your moment to think about it.
so I'm a very like up and down trader. Like when I make wins, like I make a lot of wins, and when I make losses, I make a lot of losses. So I'm not sure I'm in the top 1%. I'm probably like closer to a very mid curve perp trader.
It's so
But
humble.
I would say like like crypto is such a good place um for kind of like aspiring traders to come and like um try and like improve their craft, because there are just so many opportunities if you know kind of like what to do. Like I'll give you like um it's not even that like uh it's not even that special advice I'd say, but like I'm gonna mention lighter a lot during this podcast. But for my case, like I was actually having a really bad slump from the summer of 2026, 2024, so last year, up until like December. So I was like on a losing streak basically, after having done like really well in 2023 and 24. And so I was going through like, a lot of self-doubt, and, thinking like all the way back to like, you know, am I fit to be a trader? Like, do I even want to do this? Like a lot of self-doubt. And
Oh my
obviously like
god.
it came from like, my portfolio being drawn down a lot. Uh and what kind of flipped the switch for me, like, so if you lose confidence and you're a trader, then you're in for a really bad time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um because you'll never have conviction to hold on to your wins, and so you end up like, losing even more. Like it's a very psychological game, as most of you will know. And so you need to, find a way to regain your confidence with the lowest amount of like drawdown or costs.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how do you do that? Like there are multiple ways to do that in crypto, where you will actually earn money for, even losing money. And as you guys probably like, know where this is heading. Like if you just go to like a early kind of perp dex, or
Mm-hmm.
you know um something that has like promise, that's like, that has good fundamentals, or whatever it is, um then if you're early enough, like a lot of the times those losses are, um forgiven through the token launch. There's like
True.
there's no kind of like field in this world where that's the
Yes.
case. You know what I mean? Like, say you want to be like a doctor, and you make you want to become like a really good doctor, and like you make
You
mistakes.
kill people.
If you kill people, like you're never gonna be forgiven for those mistakes.
So true.
But
Yeah.
in crypto, like the crazy thing is that, and that was like my case as well. I was, fortunate to get to know the project a bit earlier than everybody else, but I was also like on a losing streak, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, just knowing that, Lighter's gonna have a points program, and like, uh, and I knew that it was early, so that gave me the confidence, like, holding on to my trades a bit longer, regaining my confidence. And so that was like a huge kind of boost in my kind of like trading journey this year. And even simple stuff like competitions. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
keep an eye out for these perp dexes, they always hold like these competitions. I also got like first in a couple of them during the early days when there were like lots of points. And so obviously like that boosts your confidence, right? Like, oh, maybe I am, um, good at this, or whatever it is. And so for the advice for people that like lose money, like I'm not too much of a fan of like paper trading. It just doesn't feel the same. But putting like a small amount of money onto these exchanges, like tracking your kind of like progress as you go, and then if you do lose money, like you just wait a couple of months, or a year, or whatever it is, and then recoup your losses through the
Mm-hmm.
token. And like that is such a forgiving industry. right? Like there's absolutely nothing like it in the world, and so I would look for those opportunities.
So true. Like people are calling crypto very brutal, but at the same time, no one is giving free money for using it early. Like it's actually you call it forgiving opportunity, and it's I really agree with that. So I got liquidated a lot, but what people are saying is like we just farmed. We just farmed a little bit. It's okay. It's like no worries. Like I think that kind of vibe is really good, and it's actually happening. Like for example, like there was like on top of that for just being a royal user for something or holder for something, we get free money from multiple different projects that I've never even interacted with. This is actually so good. So there are many pessimistic views on crypto in general. Like we are so over, no one is buying alts, whatever. But still, if we find good projects with, like you said, good fundamentals, still we get free money. And no other industries does like do these things for users. So yeah, that's really refreshing. I feel so much better. I lost so much. Like I lost like so much. Like a lot. And what you just said is like so true. Yeah. I need to cope with that and also try my best to find opportunities where I can regain my opportunity for my mental stability to actually help out and lose more money. Okay, okay. That being said, I think you are aware of the financialization of everything. But if only the top 1% win everything, how does this game become sustainable? Given that it's getting harder to get jobs in many places, looking at my friends, they're so miserable right now. Do you see trading as a viable source for income?
This is like a more philosophical, I guess, like social kind of question about the hyper financialization of everything, and where a lot of young people are getting drawn to the kind of like gamble culture and not doing productive stuff or perceived productive stuff in society. I actually have like a ton to say about this, but let me try to like not go off on like a huge rant or anything. I'll try and stay more focused. Do I think this is sustainable? Um, I don't think it's. I don't think that's what you should question. I think that's like too much into the future and too broad and something that you can't control.
Mhm.
So if this is where the world is going, then what you should be doing is um, you should be getting long into this industry, right?
Mhm.
So if you see a trend that everything is becoming financialized, then you should buy, what you think would make the most money in a hyper financialized world. That's like how you should view it. Whether it is like sustainable and like good for society or bad for society, that's like an ethical question. And my answer to that is actually um, the markets are actually much more like financialization is actually quite uh I think it's like a very good thing for society. If it gets to the point where like there are obvious like negative externalities to having everything financialized, like um there can't be things like it has to be a fair playing ground. Like people can't abuse having like internal information. You can't have like betting markets where you can bet on somebody getting killed or something like that, and then people betting on like the bad outcome and then doing it themselves. Like that kind of thing is obviously like the very dark aspect of hyper financialization. But financialization in general, and like the market economy in general, like in my personal kind of opinion, uh is like is such a good way for conflict resolution, and having people exchange different things at a fair price. So like I read a tweet like before where it summarizes as markets stop violence or markets stop wars, right? In the past, if you want something from
Yeah.
someone else, what you would do is you would use violence against them, right? And you would just take it from them.
Mhm.
And then the concept of a market, what that does is say, I'll give you, I want something of yours, but I'm not going to use violence or, steal it from you. I'm going to give you something in return. Give me what I want from you. And that's basically like the fundamentals of a market, and that's being implemented like in lots of different ways in the current society, and I think that's a good thing. um that's my kind of short answer, even though it's kind of long-winded. So I think like financialization of things is actually a very good thing for society, and for young people, for people that like are looking for to get a job and things like that. um do I think trading is a viable source of income? I think trading is like, um you need to you need to you need to have like a trader mindset if you want to be a trader. Like, it's one of those things that is accessible to everyone, and so everybody thinks they can do it. And it has like the promise of like riches, and like you see people like making it look really easy and whatnot. But it's actually the most competitive, most high stakes game in the world. And
Mhm.
so obviously, like, you shouldn't participate in it just to get rich quickly. Obviously that like never leads to anything good. um but if you think you have like the competitive appetite, like the analytical skills, like good judgment, the ability to control like your psychology, your mentality, if you're willing to like work on those things, and you think you have like a world class level, if you think you can compete, uh then yeah, I mean, you can try it.
Try.
Yeah. I
You
want to say
can
that.
try.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that would be my kind of advice. I think like most of the issue just comes from people thinking it's too easy.
Mhm.
um but obviously it's not. And then there's the fact that people get addicted to it. That's also like a bad thing about it. But um yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What inspired you to become a full-time trader?
um I mean, I used to be a developer, and I also used to like do data analytics, and so like I have quite an analytical kind of like, um I like to be analytical and like
Yeah, I
data
can
oriented.
tell. Because when you said like hyper financialization, don't think about it as like good or bad, but just find the early opportunity and just make money from it. That's very, very trader mindset, I would say.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. Like you just knew that you're born for that. You were born with it and you also developed with that while, you were doing your own job. You just knew it that you can do it.
But yeah, I have a lot of kind of like things that I get interested in. I also like building stuff. So like I build like, I built Perpetual Pulse. I built like a Chrome extension for trading on Lighter. Like, I enjoy like building things that people
Pretty
appreciate. It's
Are you able
just,
to share that one, like that Chrome extension? Is this like for your own use, or is it public?
yeah, it's public. I mean, like, it's there's a couple of people that are using it quite a lot. I could share
I
it. You
didn't
see.
know that. Okay, let me find it after the stream. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's called like Perpetual Pulse extension on Chrome.
perpetual politician. Oh,
Let me see if I can. Perpetual Pulse. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe it's put together. Yeah, it's Perpetual Pulse in one word,
okay.
and
Perpetual pol-
I can't type in this chat, so maybe you can share it. But um, yeah, I like building things. I like looking through data, but the thing is, the most kind of the highest like risk to reward kind of thing that I I experienced was trading in crypto. And so that's why I made that into a full-time job, even though I have like other hobbies and things that kind of like also work together with my trading. So like things like perpetual pulse and like this Chrome extension, they also help me trade. Like
Mhm.
my mix short was also based off of the data that I was just doing like kind of for fun, and then it turned out to be like a good trading idea as well. So there's things that kind of cross between that, which is good as well.
Wow, you were born for this. You were born for this. Okay.
No, it's just like if you focus like on one thing, like
Yeah.
a
You
lot.
just became like so good at it and you just build like whole extension that can inspire you to make a lot of money and you just give it out for free to people. That's crazy. Okay. Okay. So I think you kind of elaborated this question, but if you can be a little more specific, who should not be trading? Like what are some signs that are like you look for in a potentially bad trader? I think you talked a lot about good trader. How about like bad traders?
A bad trader. Mm, I think like the most important thing is the intensity of trading, right? I think you could find alpha in lots of different ways. Like I've seen a lot of different types of people make money, but the singular thing that like differentiates a really good trader is their intensity of what they're trading. So this is like kind of hard to explain to like you know maybe a new trader, but good traders will have like knowledge about the type of trading they do, like well beyond like an amateur trader. And this is
Mhm.
actually the same for like any kind of like high performing um person in like any kind of job. Like if you look at poker, like the highest kind of like performing poker players, they can talk about like one game for like hours. Yeah. And like if you look at like a good technical trader, like they
Mhm.
can tell you about like a certain candle that did something like 4 years ago that nobody would know. And it's just like the obsession and the intensity of like um of wanting to win and like being able to do the deep dive is what creates like the good trader. And so on the flip side, like the bad trader is someone that has like no intensity when they're trading, right? It's just like it's not rigorous. They just like look through like maybe a couple of tickers, or they'll look through like crypto Twitter, and they'll like look for a pretty chart, or or they'll look for like a trade idea that somebody else like did, like a chart that somebody else drew, and they'll be like, oh, I like that, I'm gonna long that. That's like a zero intensity or like a non-rigorous approach to trading.
This is so me, guys. He's talking about. I'm so glad that I'm not a full-time trader. I'm so good. I mean, I really agree with what you just said. I was like being very vibe. Like I was just like, why don't I just log in? Let's short it. I feel like I want to short it. I don't do this anymore. To be surprising, right? I don't do this anymore because I lost a lot from this. So just like you, after losing a lot of money, like people are saying like that's how you get into crypto. But I'm already in crypto. But after losing a lot of money, then I became very kind of obsessed, not obsessed, like paranoid about.
Anxious, yeah, you become very
Yeah,
anxious,
very
yeah,
anxious. Like
yeah.
I checked like Coinbase Premium, or like all the chart and like ETF inflow outflow, and then I have a mindset that currently is now is a downtrend. So I will not just casually long or buy a lot of amount of token on spot, but just wait and look for the right signal. Just like you said. Like I also learned from this cycle that I should not just follow what other people are saying, but just look at what they're saying and learn from that and come up with my own version. And I think I'm currently just setting up that own setup for myself. So I really agree with what you said. And I am the bad trader. You just portrayed me.
But I mean, I fall into that trap all the time as well. It's just it's you need to be you just need to be like cognizant of, you have to be very aware of like what you're doing, and like um yeah, that's like the hard part about trading. I think it's just like
So
controlling,
true.
yeah, your instincts, because like everybody wants to do that. It's the easy thing to do.
Mhm. Yeah, so that was such a gem. That's just so valuable insight. And but like you said, the bad traders, how they treat trading is sports, esports, like a game. So do you also see trading is it becoming some sort of esports?
So this is something again that I have a slightly different view on, and people kind of maybe deride trading as like either like a game. They'll say, like, "Oh, it's just a game," or they'll say, or people treat it as a game, or people also deride it by saying, trading is zero sum, especially futures trading is zero sum, and so you're not doing anything productive for society. The way that I look at trading is that as I said before, like the most competitive, the most high stakes sport in the world, right?
Mhm,
So think of like basketball, like the NBA, or like the Olympics, or like um, any kind of like um, super competitive sport in the world. Like all
mhm,
sports are also zero sum. Somebody loses and somebody wins. So does that make it like non-productive for society? Should we like not do it? Um, it's also like you know very accessible and it's very free. Like foot like take basketball, right? Like a 5-year-old could play basketball, and someone can do it at the highest levels of the sport and be paid like hundreds of millions of dollars a year, right? The gap is huge, but they're still basically playing the same game with the same rules. And so I think people should look at trading almost like a sport. There's like a lot of similarities. Like as I said, like the same rules apply to everyone. It's accessible
mhm.
to anyone.
It
It's zero
is.
sum. Well, spot trading isn't zero sum, but like perp trading is zero sum. It's also like you have to be highly competitive to compete at the highest levels. You need to have a very high tolerance for pain. Like all the best athletes have a huge tolerance for pain, like much higher than like the average person. Uh, and they're obsessive about their performance, right? Like if you look at people like Kobe Bryant, like
Mhm, mhm,
he would watch over his play style and like his strategy like by himself in front of a TV or whatever, like for hours and hours and on end to see how he can improve. I see like traders doing that as well. Like they write about like what went wrong on their trades and like how they can improve. And you can't get stuck in a rut. Like you need to get past like mistakes very quickly as well, and like get into the next game and the next game. Like that kind of thing is also very similar.
mhm,
And so I think like you know um, when you ask like, do you think I see trading becoming like an esport? I think it already is like the highest stakes esport in the world, right?
mhm.
It's even bigger than every other sport in the world,
So
right?
true.
But it's like a sport of the mind. Like you're playing against other players in your mind, and they're everywhere in the whole world. So that's like one kind of view that I hold. Whether it becomes like an entertainment like kind of thing, like we did for Perp Day. Do you remember like on Perp Day there were like 4 screens and like people were trading like to make the most profit in 30 minutes.
Yeah, I remember that.
That kind of like form of entertainment, I think I could see that like happening in the future. This is like I guess slightly different to what I was talking about initially, but trading as a form of entertainment, I could see that happening. I would if there was like a broadcast that had like 24-hour trading, like with like rotating kind of traders shown live, like on a TV channel or something like that.
That'd be sick.
I might have that like just on the
Just
side.
turn on, yeah, on the
Yeah,
side, just like screaming.
yeah, because
Yeah.
like the flow of information, like there's different types of flows of information, but that would be like very short time frame, like you know um a flow of information that would also be like kind of entertaining if somebody was like talking about it. And so I feel like it would be both entertaining and almost like useful, like kind of like a mix between like gambling and the news. right?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah,
like
true.
if something happened, like obviously like that competition would go crazy, and so I would pay attention to it, and I be able to react to it or whatever.
I mean, so true. So, like an hour ago, one crazy whale tore up huge amount of hype, and I didn't know that. Like, and I saw like crazy, like it's going crazy up, like $35, and then it went to $33. Maybe there's something happening, so I bought it, and I'm getting wrecked. I'm not getting wrecked, but even like for -1%, it's like very ouchy because I wasn't supposed to do anything, but I just did it.
Yeah.
So I should
Yeah.
have been more disciplined. Like you said, I think like it is sports, but there are like amateur round and like pro round, but there's no such thing here. Like amateur and pro, they're all in the same round, and we're like those who are very obsessed and just here to make money. They are the pro traders and good traders, while the rest of the people like they're just trying to here have some like Friday. I want to buy like I want to make like $100, and they lose like $1,000 because they're treating it too casually, and they're like like really pro traders, very obsessed, try to make money. So
Exactly, exactly. So basically, like you are playing against like Kobe Bryant. You're like
oh
a,
shit.
you're like a 5-year-old, like saying, I think I can beat, Kobe Bryant, or like I
Oh my
think I can
god.
score one goal against Kobe
Oh my
Bryant, and
god.
like you're playing. That's yeah.
That's so embarrassing. Yeah. 5-year old. No. Kobe Bryant. So sad. Okay. Like who do you consider to be the best traders?
So I actually prepared like a list of like who I think are good traders.
Yes. For Jun Kim, you are the Son Heung-min of trading. And you're
I wish.
Otani of
I wish.
trading.
That's my goal. Right now, I'm just like an amateur football player, but
Okay, okay. And like, there's one more question too. Like Mario said, how do you size your trade and manage large swing?
so like right now, I am kind of like doing like a long and short kind of trading style. So I have like both longs and shorts,
Mm-hmm.
and then depending on like how much, well, depending on like a couple of things, like depending on like where I think Bitcoin, whether I think Bitcoin is like ranging or bottomed or topped, I'll change like the ratios between my longs and shorts. On the long side, I'm usually very focused and concentrated on my bets,
Mm-hmm.
um, and that's what like bit me in the ass this time. But that's how I trade. Uh, and then so I'd have like a mix of maybe like 10 different coins, like some long and some short.
Mm-hmm.
And then for sizing, I would uh, you know I would go anywhere from like 1x my portfolio to like when I'm very aggressive up to like 5x.
5x.
Um,
I
and so
remember one time you posted this, fuck it, life is short. Why don't I just long more? And I followed your trade and I made money. Because I don't see like that level of intensity on your trading. I mean, on your post most of the time. But that day you were like, "Fuck it, like life is short." Oh my god, he's so down. Like he's doubling down. So I was like, "Let me follow him." I
yeah, yeah,
remember.
that's what got me wrecked this time. So like
Oh my
it works 50% of the time, 100% of the time.
oh my god! Now it's your time to reveal your list of the best
Okay,
traders.
so okay, I'm just gonna read this through because like um there's like a couple. I compartmentalize like who I like and like what they're good at. So I'm going to start with like fundamental traders, like people that look at, the fundamentals of a project. And like, I think the best fundamental traders, I'm sure I'm missing some, but like Crypto Condom, she is like one of the best fundamental traders in crypto. And then Crypto Condom's intern is also good
Mhm,
at doing like the analysis. 0x Kyle is also very good, but he's kind of like stopped doing crypto at a very, very good time. So like he also nailed like the long time frame side of things. He went to do like more TradFi stuff. So that's like fundamentals. For macro and TradFi, like my favorite podcast is Forward Guidance. So I like Feja Yu, Quinn Thompson, and Tyler Neville on Forward Guidance. I like Citrini, Kruger, also good, and then Nick at Ostium is also very good.
mhm.
Uh, for long time frame, like this is like probably one of the hardest ones. And the guys that do this well are also very hated, which is very interesting to see. And for long time frame, I think Anteater is very good. Taiki also nailed the top recently, so that was very good. Ansem is actually surprisingly very good uh, at long time frame, and Chicken Genius I think is also pretty good. So these guys all get so much hate when they like go against the trend, but they all nailed like when to be risk off. So like respect to all those guys.
Let
Um,
me create this into a short clip and share it to people. People will love this one.
And then so for medium time frame, this is like for this is similar to like the rotation game, I guess. Like I like Avi from 1000X. He sometimes does like a bit more longer kind of trending trades, but his kind of approach is always good. Riff Raff is good. Gammy Chain is good at rotations, and Pepper is also really good. So those are like my mid time frame guys. Also, people that are good at the rotation game are like Blunts, I think. Awawat is good. High Stakes Capital is very good. And he's good because like he offers like very kind of like high conviction, like midterm swings, which is like as long as you get into like what he's convinced on early, then like you could ride that for a while. So that's very good. Joshua Duke, a Korean trader, also very good at like spotting narratives and like the rotation game, and he has like very good like risk management and like TPing kind of like systems. And a lot of other guys like are good, but they also died because for the rotation game and mid time frame side of things, there was no alt season. Like there was barely an alt season, and so like all the guys that were good at the rotation game for like the previous cycles, none of them did well, or like,
So true.
or they kind of like died in the middle of doing it, and they had to like close their account, whatever. And so like I think mid time frame is actually like it's like the best for retail because like retail can't do like very short trades unless they're like a full time trader, and they don't have the patience to do long time frame. So like everybody's like wants to do mid time frame, but there was no alt season, so everybody got wrecked trying to do mid time frame. So I thought that was like a very interesting kind of like situation. And then more like shorter time frame, I think Pivot is very good, and Bam Bam the Chonk. So these are maybe like a bit more esoteric guys that a lot of people might not know, but they're very good at what they do. And then Polly, also like a legend, like doing like 50x longs on like Solana and whatever. And he nails those. So that's like long time frame, mid time frame, short time frame. I have a couple more. So like there's technicians that I think are good as well. Like technical kind of traders that don't look at like fundamentals. And the two that I like are CJ900X and Chief Zynga. So those are good technicians. For small caps, I like Small Cap Scientist and Game for One. Those two are really good at picking like undercover gems, and then that's like their focus, and they're fantastic at that. And then finally, farmers, like who are good farmers. Like this is also like a huge skill. Like Dirtail is like a fantastic farmer, and Jez as well is also a very good farmer. So that's my kind of compartmentalized kind of list of who I think are good traders. I'm sure there's more I missed out on, but this is what I could think of.
This is amazing. Wow. All we need to follow is like them actually. Like I think you covered all the like important people that people really need to follow. Like this Twitter is like full of noise. I don't even read tweets that much. I just like look up the topic and just read it. That's how I actually use Twitter recently because I don't want to get exposed to those noise. But what you just shared is like so amazing. I will just compile everything and make it into really nice format and share with people. And if you can, please share that with your own tweet. I think that tweet will go like crazy viral. Please, please.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, what will make you more money? Risk management or being responsibly risky? I think you have both because sometimes you really do like buybacks, like go crazy, but at the same time you love, managing your risk. Like now you are just taking a rest a little bit.
Risk management
So
or irresponsibly risky? Like,
yeah,
I think I think anybody can be irresponsibly risky, but not everybody can have good risk management.
that's so
Like
true.
the best traders in the world, all of them can be irresponsibly risky. They all have that, like, that wolf inside them that wants to do that, and it's always about controlling it. So risk management, or like management of your, like, these are opposites, right? Or yeah, but I would just say like risk management over everything, I guess. Yeah.
Zen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I really agree that everyone can be risky, but not everyone can manage the risk. Yeah, that's so true. And speaking of risk, what is the most stupid thing you have done that made you money?
The stupidest thing that I've done that made me money. Um, I don't know. Every single time I made money, I feel like I'm a genius. So
You are a genius. What do
no,
you mean?
but that's like the psychology of making money, right? Whenever you
Mhm.
make money, you're a genius. Whenever you lose money, you're an idiot. And so, let's see, what is something that other people might find like very stupid that made me money? Um, yeah, I really don't know. Like, I think, there's that quote where people say like, "Do you want to be right or do you want to make money?"
Mhm.
Right? At the end of the day, if you make money, you're right. Right? At the end of the day, if you made money, it wasn't a stupid thing. Like, I know people that passed on Aster, right? Like before it went live,
Mhm.
and um, I'm gonna dunk on Aster a bit, but apparently, apparently they have like a really bad dev team, right? And so, like, anybody that knew a lot about Aster, like as like a VC or like a private round investor, like if they did like the tiniest bit of like due diligence on like the capability of the team,
Mhm.
it was like the smart thing to do to pass on that round, right? But at the end of the day, they all printed. Like the people that did invest in Aster, like they printed so much money. Like they did
So
so
true.
well. And so if you ask them like, do you think it's a stupid thing that you made money off of Aster? They'll say no, right? They'll say, you know, I made they made the connection between CZ, um, him being what do you call it, like forgiven by the U.S. government, perhaps like coming back to Binance. Like they made those connections, no matter how low the probability was. Maybe there was like
Mhm.
some like information that we didn't have, but they made that, connection. They made the bet, and so at the end of the day, it wasn't a stupid thing. It was like a very very smart thing, and a lot of people that thought they were smart, they were the stupid ones.
So true. Narrative investment. Read the room. Yeah. Like if you made money, nothing is stupid. Yeah, I really agree with that. So, yeah, that was such a deep answer. Make me to think a lot because I'm not so bullish on prediction market to be honest, but I think it's unstoppable at this point. But I just gotta start think how I can max use this opportunity because I think I'm still early. People in crypto they're still early in prediction market. So there are like some questions from community. This one was like actually like very interesting. Um, what's your view on the equity perp? the equity perf raise. You can take your time to read this question and like answer. I will just read it out for everyone here. So can you ask him about his view on the equity perp raise in general and the current positioning of the different candidates according to him, as well as what he thinks the future will look like regarding TradFi moving on chain? This like thread by Starcraft, he was mentioning HIP3, but HIP3 it has like too high fee, so maybe lighter can be an option, something like that. So what's your thought on this?
Yeah, so there's like a really good post today about how Bitcoin has um, Bitcoin has done what it's supposed to do, and now it's over, right? That was like the title, and basically it was talking about how there Bitcoin came from the need of having like online money, um,
Mhm.
and the end goal for having fully digital like money is to get the huge like sector of finance to come on chain. And Bitcoin worked as like a battering ram to like get through the gates. But now that the traditional finance industry is jumping hand over fist to put everything on chain, like now the floodgates are open, right? Now we're truly going to see like a future where the world's most valuable and value accruing companies like come on chain and like have them be tradable like 24/7. Like that's the end game, right? So I actually agree quite a lot about that narrative. I feel like it's very natural for finance to come on chain. And
Mhm.
so I love seeing equity perps like get listed on Hyperliquid and like Ostium and Lighter. And I think that's like such a valuable thing for everyone. So I think that's great. Positioning wise, um, so Hyperliquid has gone the route of kind of compartmentalizing legal risk, right? Because these things have traditionally been very kind of like legally hunted down by the financial regulation industry, and so not having that risk um, held by the protocol, like the main protocol, like Hyperliquid, they could basically cut them off if the government like says no. And so
Mhm.
I mean that kind of structure I think is one way to do it. It has benefits. Obviously, like that that makes like the fee slightly higher, but then Hyperliquid then created like the growth initiative where you can be in like a growth phase and have very very low fees, competitive fees during the early kind of innings of bootstrapping that kind of liquidity. So um, they're obviously very aware of that they need to capture this market and try to be as competitive as possible. So I
Mhm.
think that's like a good approach. Ostium also are doing it, in an interesting way where they try to like remove a lot of the funding. Um, and so I'm not that heavy or know too deeply about Ostium, but I understand that they're taking like a slightly different approach as well, but they're not using an order book. So that's like one interesting approach. And then Lighter hasn't launched into individual stocks yet, but maybe they will soon. And if they do that, I mean, it would be very uh, on brand to release equity perps with zero fees, and
Crazy.
that would be pretty crazy as well. I think that would be pretty amazing. So I mean, I'm super bullish on that particular narrative and kind of like the the things that could come out of that, like tokenize, SMP, and
Mhm.
then holding that as like your kind of base asset that
I'm
you
waiting for that.
stack, and then you like because that's what I used to do with like Bitcoin. Like I used to like trade perps single time I made a profit, I would just like convert it into Bitcoin, and I had like a target amount of Bitcoins that I wanted to earn.
Mhm.
And so I used to do that on Binance, and that was like, you know, great because I could use the collateral from Bitcoin to continue like increasing my size in like a very efficient way. It's like a huge unlock. Like if you look at why DeFi Summer became a thing, it was because of the unlock of it was because of leverage, like the ability to have on-chain leverage, like increased the amount of money like circulating on chain, and that kicked off DeFi Summer and like brought in
Mhm.
like a whole bunch of like more speculative capital.
Makes sense.
I think that can happen like for perps as well, especially when people can start like holding like SMP tokenized SMP in their wallet, or like tokenized Nasdaq, or tokenized like Tesla. Um, and then they could just use that as margin to trade more perps. That's like a huge unlock that is that I'm so bullish for. Like, um, yeah,
So, okay, I should not put it in this way, but Lighter might have tokenized S&P 500 and so on. And that can also be used as collateral maybe in the future. And yeah, today I posted a post. I mean, I posted like who will gonna tokenize S&P 500 because I don't want to trade it, but I just want to buy it and hold it DCA, and I want to use it as collateral if that's possible. And there was DeFi Mojo. I remember his name exactly now, but he said there are dozens of that. But I think he meant by just equity perp listed SMP. But I want actual on-chain asset. I
yeah,
just want
yeah.
to tokenize the
You,
asset.
I think in the near future you're gonna be able to have like both, and then it would be amazing to like even have like a debit card based off of that as well, right? So like instead of going to work, stacking Korean won and then like converting it to USD and buying stocks, like you can, you can stack SPX, or like, S&P 500 in your wallet. You can trade off of that and then even spend like, Korean won off of like SPX from like an on-chain wallet. Like that would be such an amazing future, but I feel like that's not far off. Like maybe in a couple of years we'll see something like
So I don't know if Lighter has mobile app. Do you guys have mobile app?
that. That's gone into the App Store review like last week, and it usually takes like
Wow.
a couple of weeks for it to get reviewed. So it should be coming out in a couple of weeks as well.
I've been trading using Base app, which is Hyperliquid the app,
Oh yeah,
and I love it. I love trading mobile because I can just check my portfolio here and there like really quickly. I was like waiting for this perps to made into like mobile friendly, not just like on Rabby, but actual app.
yeah.
I'm so bullish. Okay, next one. Given the recent shift in federal fund rate cut probabilities to approximately 80% for December, and Bitcoin's price considering with the 80K to 85K demand zone, do you anticipate a breakout toward 95K or a rejection toward lower support levels? What quantitative signals he's looking at to back up his choice for upward or downwards positioning? Yes.
So like this is a very low conviction kind of like trading environment. I think that's the most important thing. Like you can draw like plenty of scenarios around like what you think will hit first, but there's like no way you can size up on that, right? So like this is like a very kind of like low value add kind of question. No offense to
Mhm,
Pappy. I'm sure like,
mhm, mhm.
he's just like asking it lightheartedly, but I think it's important for like for maybe newer traders or people that like kind of listen to this and like, make a trade. Like there's no like structural demand in my opinion still. right?
Mhm.
There's nowhere
Structure
that
demand. I
yeah,
love that. Okay.
nobody's like continuously buying Bitcoin to like prop up the price. And so in that environment, like it's just like Bitcoin is just kind of ping pong around. Um, and like macro isn't like is it doesn't directly affect like Bitcoin price. Like
So true.
it'll affect like maybe like TradFi or whatever. But like Bitcoin is like a very different beast, especially when it's coming off like the highs like it did over the past month. It's a reflexive asset, and the thing about reflexive assets is it goes higher than what you expect, like multiple times. It also goes lower multiple times, more than you expect, right?
Mhm. So
everybody's
true.
everybody calls bottoms like multiple times, gets wrong, gets rinsed, and then it's the same way up. Everybody calls tops multiple times, but it keeps going up. That's the thing about reflexive assets. And so yeah, it's like it's very bad to like want to try and like time bottoms and like which way it'll go. But at the moment, like low conviction, I'm looking at things like VRVP, which is like it's like a technical indicator that looks like at like what price ranges there are lots of volumes. And so it'll usually like um, bounce between the high volume areas, and the high volume areas right now are like 70K and like 95K. So I
Mm,
would say like buy anything in the low 70s and sell anything near like 97K
mhm.
is my kind of broad kind of response to that.
Very, very good answer. Okay. Okay. And next one. I think we answered this one, but the letter part we haven't answered yet. Can you read it and take your time to come up with an answer? I will just read it out for people. Mainly interested in learning how Han manages positions with huge swing, how he sights it, and how does he balance this trading with his health, sleep, daily routine, etc., and his personal takeaway to his trading style. Yes, I'm also in to know about this. Your health, sleep, daily routine. How do you manage that?
So you know, there's like that viral like TikTok video where like the guy wakes up at like
The
5 o'clock in
banana
the
one?
morning, like does like a cold bath, like and like puts on like infrared mask.
Do
uh,
you do that?
no, no, nothing like that. But I mean, because this is like a psychological game, like you're managing your psychology is like one of the most important things in trading. Um, I guess like my routine is like first thing in the morning, I obviously check the markets, and then if there's any like adjustments that I want to make, I make them. And then I usually go on for like a really long walk with my dogs. I usually do like a one hour walk with my dogs, and that's always like a good time to kind of like organize my thoughts.
Mm.
And then I usually do most of my like larger trading after that if I want to take like a a new swing position or something like that. And then I do some lighter work. So I do like, you know, I respond to like DMs and like in chat rooms and things like that. And then I usually go to the gym like in the afternoon for like a couple of hours.
Chad. Chad.
And then in the evenings, yeah, I do more lighter work. And so like it's not that special, and I I like to sleep. So despite, you know, people thinking that like, you know, hardcore traders don't sleep, maybe some don't, but I find, you know, sleep is essential to making good judgment and good decisions like with a clear mind. So I try
Mhm.
to fit in like 8 hours of sleep every day. So that's like, you know, something I try to do.
Low key, guys, I met him in real life, in person. His skin is glowy. His skin is glowy, guys. It's from his dream and his like sleep. Oh, nice. I get that. Okay, this is the question list I prepared, and we've been talking for an hour, more than an hour already. like I this is my personal question. What is the best thing about working for Lighter, working in Lighter?
So I used to be like a solo trader, right? So it used to be like very kind of like um high stakes, right? So if I like mess up my trading, that like affects my whole life, right?
Whole life, so true.
Yeah, my whole life, like everything I've earned up to this point. Like obviously, like I have other investments, but like it's like very very high stakes. And this is like my first kind of job in crypto,
Mm.
and so like having a job like is actually like pretty good for your mental state as well. It's not actually that bad. Like people ask me like, why are you working when you like made so much money? Like first of all, I didn't make that much money, and and secondly, like it's good to be like part of a team, and like sometimes like focusing on something else, and like also like working in a sector that I know that I love to do every single day. Like I love trading, and then you know I I feel like I can provide like good feedback on like what a trader likes to see and like
Mm,
what
so
the
true.
direction is. And so like I feel like my opinion is like valued. And so that's also like a good feeling as well. So um yeah, I love working at Lighter. Yeah.
Lighter is so lucky to have you. Like
No,
direct.
I'm very lucky to have Lighter as well.
Like you get the really good feedback from the best trader ever because you're not just like random traders, but who are very disciplined, like who are really deeply thinking about what good trade is. And you've been here for a while, so there are many. To be honest, not all reports from users are that valuable. Like yes, everything should be very valued, like should be treated really well, but some of those feedbacks are not that useful, but the feedback from the right people are really like that can actually change the whole thing for the early project. So I think they're really lucky to have you. Yes, that's so sick. Okay. You know what? I really wanted to jump in and like ask more questions to you, but there are so many people will want to re-listen to this. So I try to shut up for the whole time to really listen to you. And everything you shared today was so, so helpful for me. And I'm sure everyone here will feel the same way. Yes, so I just want to say that really thank you. Thank you for your time and thank you for being generous to me. Like, oh, you just like reached out to me. Sure, you can have me as a guest because like you know that I've been struggling with the streaming thing. So that was like so so touching moment for me. I really thank you for giving your hand to me.
No, thank you for inviting me. That was really good fun. So
Okay, so guys, if you guys have any question to him, this is your last chance. We will wait for 1 more minute, and if there's nothing, I will let him go and do more work or go walk for his dog.
I want to answer this question about guinea pool. So
Oh, okay, let's do that.
yeah, so
So, oh, guinea
guinea
pool.
pool is I can't say like I operate the pool because because of legal reasons. But it is a pool that like trades similar to how I trade. And it did face like pretty big losses like over the past like 2 weeks. And at the moment, like um I'm still kind of like thinking about how like what went wrong, because I had the same losses in my own portfolio as well. Um, and I guess at the moment I can only say like um, Guinea Pool is not closing for now, and it's going to continue and try to improve and hopefully recoup recoup the losses.
That's so good. I missed that question. Thanks for bringing like, and I read it. I like maybe it's a little bit too hard question, but I'm so glad that you just hold up, Shubit. I want to answer this. Like that was so cool. Okay,
I think that's
it's
everything.
late now in Korea. It's almost 10 p.m. here. Thank you for your time again, Hansolar, and see you again
All right, I'll see you in the chats and on
here in
X.
a guys. Follow him. I know you guys are already following him, but yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Guys, how was it? I think I learned a lot, and I feel like I got a kind of therapy. I don't know, like actual therapy that maybe like he just pointed out what I've been done wrong because all the answers he gave me, I think I wasn't really aware of that when I'm trading, I should be really giving like myself, like I really need to put myself into it, but I think I wasn't good enough for that. I mean, I didn't really try that much, but I learned from him that. And I really like that he take the time to reassure and maintain his like mental health and also like wait for a moment to regain the confidence before the trade. And I really love the way that he's treating trading really really seriously. It's not just an activity like we're gamble, but where all the really greatest mind are gathering together and compete. Like this is not just a gambling area for him, but where he compete with all the great people. So I was like actually touched by his attitude toward trading, and I want to be like him too. I want to be more professional about it. I think I got slightly more like slightly more mature. I cannot say mature, but I got a little better. Yes, I don't do gamble anymore, but try to make a decision based on data and try to really I was just reading what other people are sharing. That's the only thing I did, to be honest. But now I try to deep dive into the data and really figure out what that mean and try to come up with like logic behind it and what are some counter facts that is not really supporting the data I'm looking at, like that kind of thing. And I also try to sort out what should I look if I'm trading alt and what should I look if I'm trading on Bitcoin. I feel like what he said, structural demand, that was like really keyword for me. Structural demand, like for the first Q1, Q2, and early Q3, like DATs and institutions, ETFs, and all the people's anticipation, they are like structured demands. But now, even like I feel like Nasdaq is like kind of cooling off. Kosdaq is definitely cooling off. No more demand, which is less buyers. Then for the bigger time frames, downtrend. So, but at the same time, he said it's very reflexive asset. It can go up, really up, but down, really down. So this volatility can kill me. So yes, I just learned so much. He's using 5x only. Oh my god, I'm using 30x, guys. I was it was actually embarrassing because I'm using 20x. I said I try to quit gambling and I'm 20x short on what is that? Short on the what's that? Bitcoin. And I made money. I already closed it, but yes. I think I'm hyper short-term trader for now because it's chopping season. So, yes. So, yes. Who is the next guest? Who should I invite next time? You guys don't want me. You guys are done with me. I was thinking of doing solo streaming for a few more times before having another guest. How did you guys Hansolar? Wasn't he really cool? Like, you know what? I met him in person and I was like actually shocked, kinda, because he was really good. He's a really good person. Like literally just so good person. There are not many good people in crypto, to be honest with you guys. Yeah. Like there are many assholes. But he was gentle. Not in a gentle, like greasy way, like not like gentle to like, impress others, but he was just like really zen and just keep everything chill and make sure everyone mingles together. Like he's like that kind of inclusive leader type of person. So does he look like his profile picture? Yes, I think so. He looks like that. Like yeah. So yeah, I was like, wow, this is the type of person that I want to have as like sensei, you know. Like, you know, there is like when you join new team, or you know, when you join your team, you need someone who can do a coffee chat when you have a really hard time. He's that kind of person who you want to like knock knock and do you have time? I'm struggling this, and by just talking to him, you feel way less stressful, relieved. He's that kind of person. Yes. I don't think I'm that kind of person. If someone come and try to have a coffee chat with me, I'll be like very sassy, like, "Oh, what's happening? Can you TLDR first? Can I assess my time if it's worth my time or not?" I'm that kind of person, I think. I'm not that crazy, guys. Just joking. How do you see him as sensei? I don't know. Like there are some people who think who you want to have as like a teacher like Shifu vibe, like Shifu vibe. Yes. Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of Hansolar. After meeting in person, I became more fan. But if you just read his tweets, he's like so consistent. He is very transparent about what he's buying or selling. And today he just shared like extensive list based on like short term, macro, midterm, like small cap. He has his own favorite CT list, like I would say his fellow traders who are putting themselves like really immersed into trading. He really always try to learn from the best, though he's really good at his own trading. So yeah, I mean, what did I try to say? Yeah. Yes, yes. If you see him as sensei. Okay, so this is it for today's streaming. I'm gonna repurpose. I don't know if it's right term, but I'm gonna just chop it to some shorts and share with you guys so that you guys can get like the wisdom from him within a minute. So let me check Twitter really quick and call it a day for today. I think my English today is extremely bad. I don't know why, but today is like really really bad. Well, someone commented lighter app. Yes, lighter app. That it's coming. All right. Okay, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. And if you guys enjoyed it, please give me a like, give me a subscribe. I'm also on YouTube. And yes, that's it. Bye. Thank you. Bye bye.